Hey, Spectrum or Dubos Alliance, it's me, Spectrum here. Coming to a video. In this video, I am talking about some ideas I have and what inspired them for a new series I want to start on this channel called Worlds Gone Astray. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, so for the first design, this is a golem, and I'm thinking these golems are from a universe, or from my Beastverse, and I know, and for the record, the story I'm wanting to make is called Worlds Astray. Oh, yeah, Worlds Gone Astray. That's what I'm talking about in this video, for the record. Character designs. I got this idea from two stories, one on Webtoons and one on Tapas. I can't pronounce it, but it's Tapas. Anyways, that one is the one from the Tapas. I'm just going to call it Tapas because I can't pronounce it any other way. The one from the Tapas is the Golem Rushing Dungeon or something like that. It's a good story. That's where I got the idea for these golems. And the other one is from the story known as The Gamer from Webtoons. Both are really good stories. And personally, I enjoy the Golem Rush one a lot more. It's just a whole lot more interesting. But trust me when I say that both are really good stories. But anyways, this one I went after the I followed the idea of these creatures having the appearance of an average golem, and that actually really did help with this idea. I kind of did take the idea and design of golems from that story, but what I did was I gave them more rocky texture. That's what I wanted to do anyways, but also give them a somewhat different appearance. And these things have a higher sense of smell, and they don't have any eyes. But overall, they're just a lot more jagged than the actual one from Golem Rushing Dungeon, I believe. I can't quite remember what the story title is. But overall, really good. And the designs were pretty good. But the effect, what the golem had on the human body, now that was interesting. These golems, and from the story, had simple swinging ability, but there were also different other types, like crystal golems, pretty much a golem with a crystal in its back. Then treasure one, pretty much made of diamond or gold. And then the other one was the real regular golem. Now, what got me thinking for an idea of the story? What got me thinking for this one was a character design I came up with. Well, in my head anyways. The design I follows the main character of the story. Okay, what on earth was that story called? Well, pretty much the main character, for the record, spoiler warning, is that the character plays this game, and then a section from his world started disappearing. Here it was. The story is called Golem Dungeon Rush. Golem Dungeon Rush, the main character, he plays a video game, and for some reason, golems start appearing in the real world. And just like in the video game he played, and for the record, the game is very brutal and hardcore. meaning you are going to be killed by the first thing you encounter pretty easily. But when he finally managed to kill the creature, both in-game and in real life, what he found was that when he stabs himself with it, he gains the ability of said golem. Not the ability, but his arm, the part of his arm. Like, if I were to pierce it in my hand, like in the center of my hand, down to my wrist maybe, and up to the rest of my hand would be covered in golem rock. But if I were to pierce it right in the middle of my arm, that section, and a little bit down, and all the way up to my hand would be covered in rock. And it's a trigger, meaning it can be turned on and off. Hence the idea of this one. Yeah, I know I pretty much copied these ideas, but trust me, what I want to do with it is different. It also gives you another boost in strength and all that, but it can also cause you to become a lot more, insane. That's if you use it too many times. There are a few people that have gone through, if you've ever heard of exposure therapy, it's pretty much what helps people with their allergies. But I was thinking, people have gone through exposure therapy by fighting so many golems and fighting the other creatures that are made up of these things, that make up the golems. But I'll get on to this next. But due to it being exposed so much, they have gotten used to the golem flesh, are no longer affected by the mental things permanently. They're still affected, but it's only for like a minute or so. So, now, this one is from really nothing. This is just an idea of a creature I had. I was thinking, but what about what creatures make up these golems? But what about the mutations? Because the idea I got through was maybe some of these creatures are from my beast force, like an average golem is from my beast force, and due to the overlaying energies, the creatures have mutated and become more hostile and mindless. Because monsters in my beast force are really intelligent and are not really prone to violence. Some are, some aren't. But a good chunk of them aren't. But for some reason, the overlaying energies changed their mental structure, got rid of almost all their magic, and just give them simple strength and durability increasements. But there's also these creatures. I call them Abyssians. The design came from a character of a submission on one of the early pop culture community redraws. It was simple redraw back then, but the character design stuck with me because of how simple it was. It was a pretty good design, and trust me, I really like how it turned out. Now, really. Anyways, like I was saying, I really like how that design turned out, and I'm sorry about the music playing. It was from a game I was downloading. Anyways, this is a very interesting creature on the fact that it can actually, it's known as the base evolution. Pretty much, if you were to mash this thing with a bunch of rocks, it will become a golem. But if it were to evolve by itself and not any exposure to pretty much anything else, it will become something different. Now, this creature is a jack of all trades. It can morph its body because it's a semi-liquid. It's like Jello. It can move its body and coagulate itself, hardening itself. But it can also be a liquid and move around, but also be a solid and actually pack some force and shape itself into a solid form and not continuously drip down. But I'm thinking this thing isn't really stable. Some Abyssians are stable, some aren't. And the younger ones are the ones that aren't, hence the reason why it's dripping. These things are, and their black goo is what makes up the golem's flesh and the stuff that keeps the stuff together. Okay, now for the record, the reason why I want each of these to have an effect on people is so that way people can actually gain their powers. Abyssians are, like I said, the starting of the evolutions of pretty much any other creature. The golems, their flesh would disappear within a few minutes, like maybe 5 at most, whereas regular Abyssians, due to be more liquid and being the base of pretty much every other creature, they stay around for at least 10 minutes. And within that time, if you can find a solid mass, like you killed one and had like a solid mass to it, make sure it's sharp, and if you were to stab yourself with it in the story, you would gain the powers of an Abyssian. Abyssians, for the record, are very, very, very strong. They become weaker when they become something like a golem. Becoming a golem is simply as being being stuck in a pile of rocks for like a week. It would have, due to its sticky hide in nature, it would eventually just grow accustomed to it and actually start morphing the rocks around, playing around for a minute. For the rest of the week, maybe like day 3, starts messing around with the rocks, move them around, and then maybe around day 5, it will start to make our legs. Around day 7, it would be able to, the entire mass would solidify and become a mindless golem. Although there are very rare occurrences when they are still fully intelligent. Abyssians are very intelligent creatures by themselves, but when they are exposed to rocks like something like and become golems, they for some reason become mindless. I don't really know why yet. I am just mostly going off what's on top of my head for these creatures. But they become mindless golems, but there's one golem that stands above them all. The first ever golem, the Primo Golem. And I got that name from the Primo Geoshap from Genshin Impact, okay? The way you get a flesh of an Abyssian is if you are fighting one and it has solid mass when you killed it. Find the solid mass, and if it's sharp enough, like I said, you can poke in your body and you would gain the powers. You would maybe be knocked out for like an hour on either the Abyssians or golems, or maybe even something far worse than either of them. But hey, that's all I got for now. Well, I plan on making a more in-depth video, actually going over like the powers and a synopsis of what the series is going to be like. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy it if I do make it. Most likely am, but slim chance I don't. Really like the idea, so higher chance I'm going to make it. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, but I'm afraid that's all the time I got for today. Until next time, subscribe today to join the Spikers Dummy or Demos Alliance. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.